Hey YouTube, MusicMan1310 here, and this time I'm going to tell a story. Now, I saw and responded to a comment on one of my past videos where someone asked me about the significance of the number 1310 in my name. Now, the full story for the number itself is up on the screen, but one thing I did mention is that 1310 is also a clan tag. There's going to be a little bit of history with me and clans in this video because I have some experience that I would like to share and hopefully give advice on. So back when I was playing this little game called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I wanted to be in a clan. Now I realized that no one would have taken me because of my bad KDR. I was going somewhere between 0.5 and 0.75 KD, which I didn't care at the time because I was focusing on playing the objective. However, there was one clan that I happened to bump into called Slaughterhouse Gaming. They usually play hardcore games like hardcore TDM and hardcore domination, which I wasn't used to at the time, but I figured this would be the best chance that I got at getting into a clan. So I went through the orientation of the clan. I use the term loosely to show how organized this clan was, and I was put in one of the divisions. Sorry about that. To further illustrate how organized this clan was, they did put together meetings for each division. I was a part of that clan for about a year until I left for reasons I will explain in the video later on. While I was playing with some of the people in Slaughterhouse, I was also playing another game on my free time called Minecraft. Here, a friend of mine owned a server that I was shown and eventually was accepted. Now, this is significant because I was basically climbing two sets of ranks. However, I did end up being an admin of the Minecraft server first, which gave me experience in community management. I was also known for properly diffusing a scenario, giving fair punishment, and overall just being a good moderator and admin. The skill transferred to Call of Duty with Slaughterhouse, more so in Black Ops 2. I noticed that some of the leaders had left the clan, and eventually I was put in charge of my division. I had mixed feeling about this clan because I love playing with the community, don't get me wrong, but I don't like some of the things that the founders and owners had in store. One of them being how heavily they emphasized meetings. I was doing my best as a leader of my division, but eventually school took up more time than I'd bargained for. Luckily, the owner of the clan understood this and gave me the opportunity to become an honorary member, which translates to taking the leave of absence, needless to say, and I took it. During my leave, I was playing a lot of League play by myself, and that's when I started to get a feel for competitive Call of Duty, which later grew to a love for the pro scene. When I declared that I'm ready to return from my honorary member status, I was put in the division of my choice, but it didn't last much longer for me staying in Slaughterhouse. Meetings felt like they were more and more frequent, and the organization felt less fun than when I first joined. To put in perspective, when I joined, meetings had full lobbies, which were up to 18 people at the time, but then it dwindled down to 10 people, including the people that had to be there. Sometimes we even need to make a secondary lobby to fill up for the people that wanted to be there, but couldn't fit into one lobby. Once it was clear that the community was falling apart, I had left. My only leadership position became the one on the Minecraft server as admin. However, at this time, a different friend of mine wanted to play on the 360 with me. Not so much COD, but more towards Rock Band, and he decided to make the clan 1310. On Black Ops 2, he made the logo, as shown on screen, and at first, I didn't know what to do, but eventually, I started to organize what I wanted to accomplish from this, and from there, the clan was changed from Clan 1310 to 1310 Gaming. At the start of 1310 Gaming, my goal was to have a place for people just to have fun together, regardless of game or console. This was based off of how, at the time, I was on the Xbox and DualRab, the friend that made the 1310 Gaming, was on the PC, and how I play a lot of games from Activision while he plays a lot of games from Valve. So the whole point that I brought to him was, how about we make this clan a community where people can play with each other and overall just have a good time. At the beginning of Call of Duty Ghosts, however, I had two separate rosters for 1310 Gaming, a casual roster and a competitive roster. I split the roles of me and Dual Rap to where I was in charge of the competitive roster for games like Call of Duty, League of Legends, etc., and he would manage the casual roster. Dual Rap, for a while, did have the help of my uncle, who was a part of the casual side of 1310 Gaming, but eventually that side kind of just disappeared as I was focusing on making the competitive roster. This is where, if the pro scene was on the PS4 over the Xbox One, then 1310 Gaming would have seen some roster mania type thing. The original team for 1310 Gaming was myself as the objective player, Drytoots as support, and Psychosocial and Asterix as slayers. We struggled at first with game battles, mostly because we were a brand new team, and also we've had little disagreements that weren't properly addressed and acted upon. One day, I got onto game battles only to find that I was the only one left on the roster. You have no idea how depressed I was. And after a few months, I managed to go dubs with Asterix, and sometime after our series, I realized that maybe they left me because I wasn't a good leader or captain. So I took that to heart, and instead, I just looked for a few more people until I found Cool Kurd and Raptorosaurus Rex. Don't ask me how I got that name. We did some 3v3 game battles and won our first 2 games, but we weren't under 1310 Gaming. I had to put that aside, and we agreed on the team name to be the Fluffy Ponies. I'll explain that later. Now, I thought we were going to go into Advanced Warfare as a team, only to lose contact them on day 0, if you remember that from pre-ordering. Now, a little bit about Fluffy Ponies is that I was still a heavy brony at the time, and I noted that when it came to the word pwn, some people write it PWN, meaning poning people, so to speak. So I just kind of did a little play on words for that, and they liked it, and we kept it. After a couple months of grinding ranked play on Advanced Warfare, I did end up meeting someone that I have mentioned on this channel before. You've probably seen me play with him before, Akil Alabast. Now, we both did ranked and UMG online, and Akil and I played really well with each other. I had asked him if he wants to help me rebuild the team, and I got an immediate yes. And we've been in touch ever since, even to this day. As time went on, Akil introduced me to Toxic Bullet, with the idea that he would be our slayer. After a few games of ranked with the 3 of us, I had asked Bullet if he wanted to sign on with us on 1310 Gaming, which was another yes, and I still play with him when we both had the time. Jump ahead to COD Champs 2015, back in March. I had a blast at the event. I got to meet some of my favorite YouTubers like T Martin Drifter and Chaos Silencer, as well as a bunch of pros like Nate Shot, Merc, TP, Killa, and Karma, and more. One person that I met, however, was Longshot, who at the beginning, we had a little bit of a rivalry based on which team was better, Optic Gaming, my side, or Team Caliber, his side. Eventually, I had asked if, despite our disagreement on which team was better, we'd end up teaming up ourselves. After Champs, take a wild guess as to what happened. You'd be right if you said that we ended up teaming. I told Longshot about the roster that I'm building, and he agreed to join, just as soon as he gets a PlayStation 4, which he does have. I put his spot on hold for the time being, but now that he actually does have a PlayStation 4, we can finally get together as a team and work on becoming pros. That is, until Akil put himself as a sub due to real life issues, which I completely understand. So that meant that I had to look for a 4th, and after a random ranked playlist session, Bullet, Akil, and I ran into Death Gun. We had a match or 2 with him until we decided to pick him up and do a session with him. A few days later, I had asked Death Gun if he wanted to team with me, Bullet, and Longshot as we tried to go pro, and without hesitation, he said yes. For now, we haven't gotten together as a full team due to time and certain other constraints, but when we do, there will be a video of our first match, whether it's ranked UMG Online or Arena on Black Ops 3, and then I would keep updating with progression as to how this team is doing, whether, well, mostly it's going to be with UMG Online, but overall, just progression as to our skills as a team. That's my story for 1310 Gaming, but before I go, I do want to say that I did make a channel for 1310 Gaming that is meant for building a community. This channel will be completely filled with videos by you guys, really. All you have to do is send an email to the address that you see on the screen now with the video and a thumbnail you want to use, as well as a title and description and your YouTube link or Twitter link to be given the proper credits. Until then, leave a like if you enjoyed my story, subscribe for more. I do have a Twitter, it's in the description below, and this is MusicMan1310 signing out. Bye!